But we have more guests to talk to. We have Jen and Wesley Bone, and they have come in to tell you about a brilliant new project that they have started. So, who's going to tell me first what you're doing?
Go on, Jen.
Hello, thank you so much for having us on the show. Yes, we're starting a new project called ShireFolk. It's about bringing the incredible talent, you just refer to having this wonderful pool of talent across the country, to the Shire regions. We live in rural areas, and we've seen some of the most incredible performers, and we struggle to see them without travelling quite some distance sometimes.
So, last year I was at the English Folk Expo, and we saw some amazing artists, and we actually went into Birmingham to see one of them play. Where is it at?
At the Kitchen Garden Cafe. We did actually travel into Birmingham.
And as that drive home from there, we just kept saying, why is there nothing like that around here? We need to do something. So we did. So we decided to start the project. It's called ShireFolk. We're basically bringing over an artist to do a 3-day tour. So they'll come and they'll play at Ludlow Distillery, which is a brand new space. So it's the gin, where they make the gin, and they're turning it into a pop-up venue space once a month on a Thursday evening. And then
we go to Hereford on a Friday evening to the Jam Factory, which is in the city centre. And then we finish up each month in Bridgnorth on the Saturday evening at a pop-up venue at Violet's Tea Room. So,
it's really exciting to be able to bring them across for a 3-day tour.
And these are artists that they deserve to be heard. They are up and coming. There's contemporary folk, and you may not have heard of them. You may have heard of them. You may have seen them before. But if you haven't, you'll definitely need to see them, and you'll definitely want to see them again.
I mean, we've been blown away we've seen them all several times, and So
we've travelled. We've seen several of them perform over at Focus Wales. We travelled to the Cambridge Folk Festival to watch them perform there. So we've been quite dedicated to finding these artists.
So we've got George Bonesmere is our first artist. He's coming over. An incredible talent, a beautiful voice, and his guitar style is just something. So he's actually joining us this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and is actually nearly sold out on the Bridgnorth one, which is absolutely amazing.
We're over the moon.
And there's not that many tickets left for the Ludlow show either. It's just absolutely brilliant. And then about 18 months ago or so, I can't remember exactly when, I booked Spires and Bowden for the Regal in Tenbury. And then I got an email saying, would it be okay to bring the support act with us? And it was Lady Nade. And we met Lady Nade and we heard Lady Nade, and we were just absolutely...
From the moment she walked on stage, we were just absolutely transported.
And the moment she pushed me on stage and said, introduce me.
You on stage, and that was... And she captivated everyone at the Regal. It was a 260-seater, and everybody there was just completely just mesmerised by this lady. And we were just going to, one day, hopefully we can work together in some way. So I kept her number, and then this project came about. It was like, gave her a cheeky comment. Any chance you fancy coming and doing that? And so she's joining us for our October artist. And then for this autumn season, we've then got Amelia Coburn coming over in November. And again, just a phenomenal talent, and someone you just, as soon as you hear her songs, they're in there. They're just completely in your head, and you can't forget them. It does make you want to sway. She's ukulele, and it's just wonderful. Yeah, it really, really makes you smile. So every artist we've approached about the project has been completely on board, and they love what we've been doing. And it is about developing those audiences, and just trying to bring these incredible performers to a region that we don't always get everyone coming to. No. Sometimes we can be a little bit forgotten, so it's quite nice to shout very loudly and wave that we're here. And then next year we've got Maddie Morris, who you mentioned last week, and she's... what a voice. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing voice. And actually going to release, I know that George Bonesman is going to release a single on the first ShireFolk event this week, and Maddie's going to release an album on the ShireFolk event in February, which is absolutely brilliant. It's the start of LGBTQ plus History Month, so it all ties around that. It's a really, really special sort of show that we're looking for. Shows for that one. Very much so. Yeah. I think it's a great idea that you've got 3 nights on the trot, because so often you find that the band goes from Cambridgeshire to Cornwall to something else, with 3 within
easy travelling distance must be an absolute godsend for them.
We call it dartboard tours when they're all over the place. It just feels like someone just randomly throwing a dart in and that's the next place to go to.
That is one of the elements of the touring that we're actually trying to investigate is the environmental impact of touring. So if you're expecting an audience, or the only way an audience can see an artist if or the entire audience up sticks and has to drive into another part of the country to see them, how does that balance environmentally against the artist actually coming out to that region and doing this little mini tour? So that's something we're trying to kind of explore how that might work long term as a model.
How is it working with funding? Do you have funding?
We were very fortunate. We worked incredibly hard, and we put in a bid to the Arts Council, and we did get sort of part funded by the Arts Council. So we've had that support to set it up and running, which has been a huge godsend to us, really.
And everyone we spoke, I mean, the seed was laid last October, but just, when a seed just keeps growing and it just keeps popping up in conversation, and every time we spoke to somebody about it, though, it sort of went to, actually, that's a really nice idea. I think we'd like to be involved with that. And so actually the partners that came on board with the project really early on were just phenomenal. You've got like Hobgoblin Music are on board as a partner, and you've got Ludlow Distillery, the Jam Factory, Violets and By From. It's just everybody just sort of came together and supported it really early on.
Is there anything to do with the fact that all your venues are in places where you can eat and drink?
I'm not going to say it doesn't help. We do know our audience, and we do know we like to have a drink whilst listening to the music. So that has been, a consideration.
So when we went to the Hereford venue, which is the Jam Factory, they're already a music venue. So the other two are new to this. So we're bringing in PAs and we're setting it all up, and we're taking we're running an intern program for sound engineers as well, because we've noticed there's a shortage of sound engineers at post-COVID in this region. So I bought the same mixing desk I know a lot of the theatres around here use, so I can take an intern with me on these tours and give them some air miles. I keep calling it some experience in different spaces.
And what's so lovely is several of the venues and other venues that we work with have already stated that any intern that comes through, they're looking for more sound engineers, and if they can get those air miles and get that experience, then that's actually brilliant. Helping job opportunities.
And the Jam Factory, they're already supporting loads of different original music. They're a really dedicated team. They're amazing people.
Very impressive.
And it's street food there. It's a really cool place. But the one, when I walked in the door, it's just apparently they just had a conversation. The one area they're not supporting is folk, and then we've just walked in, and it was just the perfect marriage. Exactly. It was just again, you're randomly talking to people and everybody just getting on board so early on with it. It's been great.
Yeah.
It sounds a fabulous idea, and I look forward to seeing who you've got on, and hopefully coming to see somebody. Mm-hmm. So your first chap is George Bonesma,
It
right?
is indeed, yeah.
Perfect.
And he has very kindly, I think through you, sent us his brand new single. So I'm looking forward to playing this. And this is Lily of the Nile.
It is.
Let's listen to this. First hearing.
From the moment I fell in arms, she's always welcome, my lily of the Nile. I am lost, some might say, but she's there calling out my name. No need to reply. She moves in and holds her heart with mine. There is hollow that's often certain days when I fear in a bitterness of ways. No need to be kind. She moves in and holds her heart with mine. Never said. She knows when I'm in my head. No need to be found. She moves in and holds her heart with mine.
That's George Bonesma, who will be appearing in a venue near you very shortly. So just reiterate, where do we get tickets? How do we find out more?
Okay, so the website is ShireFolk.co.uk. We couldn't believe we could get that name after the Lord of the Rings. Yeah, so ShireFolk.co.uk. You can get tickets there for all three of the events of the tours for all the artists. We've also just done a podcast.
Yes, so we are on social media. We're on Instagram and Facebook and all the rest of it at ShireFolk Music, and you can also find us on anywhere you can get your podcast as the ShireFolk Podcast, where we're interviewing each of our artists as well. So covering all bases.
Yeah.
You absolutely are. Fabulous.
Share the love, get the message out there. This incredible music needs to be heard, and ideally live. You know, there's something about that shared experience in these intimate spaces.
You can't beat it.
You just can't beat it. No.
Yeah. So I'm really pleased that it's going so well for you, and let's hope it all continues. That'd be brilliant. Thanks, Jen and Wesley, for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And having a natter. That's great.